my name is Mimi and today I'm gonna to read a book called Day of the Dinosaurs. Now let's get started. Chapter 1. Quick, said Max. If you don't move, the dinosaur is going to eat you. Ben laughed and moved his finger quickly over the button. The little man on the screen ran, but he was too slow. A moment later, there was 2 words on the screen, big yellow letters. Game over. Oh no. Game over. Let's do something else, said Ben. He looked out his bedroom window. He could usually see Grandpa Van, but it wasn't there that afternoon. So where's Grandpa's gone? Asked Max. He said that's going somewhere dangerous, answered Ben. He'll tell us about it when he's come back. Max smiled. Well, you won't have to wait for a long time, he said. Look, the van's coming back now. It was true. There was a flash of lights, and then the van was back on the driveway. Come on, said Ben. Let's find out where Grandpa's been. Tell us about our adventure, Grandpa, Ben said as he opened the van door. Where are they? Asked Max. Let's look at the black box, said Ben. The black box was the machine that recorded everything in Grandpa's van. Ben turned it on and the 2 boys looked at the screen. They could see Grandpa's face. This place is amazing, said Grandpa's voice. Where was this record? Thought Ben. On the screen, Grandpa said. Come on, Clunk. We're going outside to collect plants. The boy watched as Grandpa left the van. For a minute, nothing happened. Then suddenly there was a terrible noise from the black box. Is that an animal? Said Ben as worried. It's not very big. Suddenly there was another noise, not from the black box, but from inside the van. Something was moving behind the boys. Something fast. There was no time to see what it was. It jumped past them through the open door. Chapter 2. Rosie and Alex were sitting outside. They were trying to play with her cat Bobby, but Bobby isn't very interested in cat toys and the little bell. He was moving interests in one of the bushes in the backyard. What's he doing? Asked Rosie. He's always trying to catch birds, said Alex unhappily. Bobby, came back here. The cat didn't listen. His eye didn't move from the bush as he moved closer and closer to it. Bobby jumped into the bush. A moment later, the girls heard the frightened cry. Alex jumped to her feet. Bobby, are you okay? The cat jumped out of the bush as fast as a rocket and ran around the corner of the house. Why is Bobby so scared? Asked Rosie. What's in that bush? She and Alex went closer. There's something in there, said Alex. It's look bigger than a cat. 2 big yellow eyes looked back at them from inside the bush. Suddenly, an animal jumped out of the bush. It had tiny neck, long legs, and a long tail. Surprised and afraid, the girl jumped back. The animal moved fast across the grass. It stopped when it smelled food, Bobby's food. With its sharp claws, it picked up the food from Bobby's bowl and began to eat. It ate one of Bobby's cat toys too. Then it ran away. What was that? Asked Rosie. A lizard from the zoo. A moment later, Ben and Max ran to the girls. Ben quickly explained about the van. Rosie listened, then told the boy about the strange animal. I've never seen a lizard like it, she said. I have, said Alex quietly. I've seen pictures of one. It's in a book about dinosaur. Dinosaur? Said Ben. He looked more worried than ever. So Grandpa has gone to a different place. He's gone to a different time. Chapter 3. So that little dinosaur got into the van before it came back to our life, said Ben. But wait, But Grandpa didn't come back with it, said Rosie. Wait, said Grandpa. I thought that dinosaurs were huge. Not all of them, said Alex. Some were as small as chickens. Ben was thinking. Dinosaurs died millions of years ago, he said. Nobody had ever seen one alive. We have to find dinosaurs before anybody else sees it. Alex and I will do that, Rosie told her brother. You have to find Grandpa. While the girl made her plans to capture dinosaur, Max followed Ben to the van. What are you going to do? He asked. We can't drive the van. We don't have to, Ben explained. Grandpa has made some changes to the van. Max watched as his friend typed some numbers on the van's computer screen. Suddenly, the boys heard a voice from a speaker at the front of the van. Hello, Ben. Max was very surprised. Who said that? It's the van's computer, Ben explained. We can just tell it where to go now. Cool. Max looked excited for a moment. Then he remembered where they were going and he looked worried again. Ben spoke to the computer van. We're going somewhere very dangerous. I understand, said the voice from the speaker. There was a strange sound at the van's shape. It doesn't look like an ordinary van. It looked ready for anything. Ben looked at his friend. What about you, Max? Are you ready? Not really, Max answered, but I don't think that I'll never be ready. So let's go, Ben smiled. Van, please take us to the last place that Grandpa went. Okay, said the computer voice. The boys sat back as the engine started. Then the boys saw a circle of light and the van started to moving into them. Wait, shouted Max. I've changed my mind, but it's too late. Chapter 4. Where's Bobby? asked Rosie. I think he's hiding somewhere, said Alex. She's put a piece of cat food on the ground. Then the girls walked to a little farther of Alex, put down another piece. Then they reached the open garage door. She put the last piece inside. The two girls looked back. There are light of food from the backyard to the garage of Alex's house. Now what? asked Alex. We hide and wait. I just hope that little dinosaur is still near here. The girls hid behind a car. They didn't have to wait long. The dinosaur came in front of the house. It smelled the air. Then it put its head down and ate the first bite of food. Slowly it moved to the second piece. Alex almost couldn't believe it. She was really looking at the dinosaur. Suddenly the dinosaur stopped. It could hear something. Rosie could hear it too. Their neighbor, Mrs. Brown, was arriving in her car. Oh no, thought Rosie. When Mrs. Brown walks to her front door, she'll see the dinosaur. Rosie jumped up and ran. It was watching Rosie carefully, but it didn't run away. At last, it moved to the next piece of food. Alex waited nervously. Please don't let Mrs. Brown look this way, she thought. Rosie picked up the soccer ball. She gave a big smile. Hello, Mrs. Brown, she said. Watch this, Mrs. Brown, said Rosie. She started to kick the soccer ball up in the air again and again. Mrs. Brown watched. Very good, she said in a bored voice. She started to turn. Please wait, said Rosie. I haven't finished yet. She kicked the ball higher and higher. Mr. Brown looked at her. Are you feeling okay, Rosie? Over the neighbor's shoulder, Rosie saw Alex shut the garage door. That meant one thing. The dinosaur was in the garage. Rosie caught the ball. I'm fine, thanks, Mrs. Brown. Bye. Chapter 5. We're here, said Ben. About 140 million years ago, Max looked out of the window. It looked like an ordinary day in the countryside. He could see lots of trees, some birds in the sky, and a few hills far away. Then he looked again. Wait a minute, those are too big to be birds. They're flying dinosaurs. And those hills over are moving, said Ben. They're not hills, they're huge dinosaurs. I fight Grandpa and go home, said Max. Ben agreed, and he had a plan too. Grandpa always takes his cell phone with him, he said. We can't call him there, said Max. Of course not, but Grandpa's phone gives signal anywhere. Ben turned to the computer. Van, can you find a signal from Grandpa's phone? Please wait, said the computer. I'm looking. Don't take too long, said Max. That huge dinosaur might come this way. At last the computer spoke again. I have found the signal. Great, said Ben. Please take us to the van. To it, Van. The van began to drive. There were no roads, so it couldn't go very quickly. How far now? Max asked. After a few minutes, 50 meters, said the computer. 40 meters. The van turned at the huge rocks, but Ben and Max didn't see Grandpa. They saw the most terrible dinosaur of all. It stood on two legs and its teeth were huge and sharp. It's a T-Rex, shouted Max. Stop, shouted Ben. Turn around, Van. The van turned, but the boy couldn't see the terrible dinosaur through the back window. It watched the van for a few moments. Then it started to run. Go faster, shouted Max. I cannot go faster on this ground, answered the computer quietly. The boys looked back. The T-Rex was getting closer. It opened its huge mouth and gave a terrible, hungry roar. Van, shouted Ben, take us home in our time. Chapter 6. Rosie and Alex were happy to see the van again, but then they saw Grandpa wasn't with the boys. The van followed Grandpa's phone signal. Ben explained, it took us to T-Rex. But what was Grandpa doing with a T-Rex? Asked Rosie. We didn't see Grandpa, said Max, but the phone signal was coming from inside the dinosaur. Rosie looked very afraid. If the phone's inside that dinosaur, is Grandpa inside the dinosaur too? Ben put a hand on his sister's shoulder. Don't worry, Rosie, he said. Grandpa's much smarter than any dinosaurs. We'll go back to find him. He looked around. But what about the other problem? Do you catch that little dinosaur? Alex pointed to the garage door. It's in there, she said. It doesn't sound very happy. Perhaps it will be happier when it goes home, said Max. We put a hand garage door. 1, 2, 3, now! Max pulled the door open. The little dinosaur was fast. Probably fast enough to escape from 2 people. Maybe 3, but 4 people were too many. Be careful, said Rosie. When they had a dinosaur in a blanket with its sharp teeth. They carried it to the corner of the garage and put it in the empty box. What's that noise? Said Ben. It sounds like Little Bell. Is it a bell? Said Alex. I think the dinosaur ate one of Bobby's cat toys. That gave me an idea, Ben said with a smile. When the box was in the van, he went to the door. I might know where Grandpa is. Come on, Max. Rosie put a hand on the door. We wanted to come too, she said. I want to help to save Grandpa. And I want to see our little dinosaur when it's home and free, said Alex. Ben thought for a moment. Then he said, okay, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Chapter 7. They arrived back in the time of dinosaurs. They opened the back door of the van and watched as the little dinosaur jumped out of the box. I hope you have a nice adventure in our time, said Alex. As the dinosaur ran away, the sound of Bobby's bell became quieter and quieter. Then they had reached the right place. They couldn't see the T-Rex anywhere. Then they came close enough. Something came out of the cave. Is that a dinosaur? Asked Alex. No, said Max. It's Clunk and Grandpa behind him. Grandpa had a smile on his face as he walked toward the van. Hurry, Grandpa, shouted Rosie through the window. It's dangerous here. There was a terrible loud noise. A huge head was moving over the tree. The T-Rex had smelled dinner. Grandpa put one hand on his head and ran. He and Clunk jumped into the van moments before the dinosaur reached it. Let's go, Van, shouted Ben. Rosie asked Grandpa what had happened. That T-Rex wanted to eat us, explained Grandpa. So I played a voicemail through my phone speaker and it put the phone down. When the dinosaur heard the voicemail, it took the phone. Clunk and I hit the wait and waited for you to save us. The van took Grandpa's and 4 children home. At the same time, a few of archaeologists was working hard in the mountain. They were looking for dinosaur bones in the ground. Look at this, said one of the archaeologists excitedly. It's a tooth of a T-Rex. There's a lot of bones too. I've found something else, said other archaeologists. He picked up something and looked at it carefully. But I don't understand, he said at last. It looks like a cell phone. Okay, this is the end of the book. I hope you like it and thank you for listening. If you like it, like it. If you love it, subscribe. Thanks.